Okay. Go ahead and turn it for all you're worth.
Jesus.
I know. Hey, good morning, Dan and Brad, since I know, Brad, you're going to be interested in this. So the shaft has stopped turning on my roaster drum, which of course is bad because you can't, it's like drying your clothes without the drum turning. I guess it will work, but the clothes on the bottom get scorched and everything else stays wet, if you know what I mean. So, fortunately, I've got a guy named Joe, Dan, you know Joe, who does electric motors and deals with shafts and bearings and all that stuff. And so I'm going to take the clutch sprocket down to him, and we're going to see if it's the bearings on this or the bearings on this. And if it's the bearings on this, it's going to be significantly more difficult to replace. But the first thing is I got to go and get my little tool to pull that clip off so I can pull that off the shaft. And then in theory, when I pull this off, this should turn, the drum now should turn relatively freely unless it's these bearings that are bad. I think it's these bearings, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, roaster update. I got the sprocket off and the thing is still not turning. So that leads me to believe that either this bearing or the one on the opposite side is out. So I'm going to have to pull off, this is called a 4-bolt block flange or a 4-bolt block bearing. So I'm gonna have to pull those two off. In order to do that, as you can imagine, I need to brace I need to block, that's what I need to do. I need to block the roaster drum, otherwise it'll drop down. So let me show you what I did. Okay, so what I did was I bought a piece of a 12-inch, 12-inch long, half-inch black pipe nipple and a couple of flanges. And because there's very little space to get up there, so what I'm gonna do is, you can see it's there, and then I was able to actually just unscrew the pipe just enough to make it tight. And that allows me to both get up in that space and also to block it. And I should be able to do the same thing on the other side, and I'll replace these one at a time. They are, Big Joe told me they're 31 bucks a piece. They are up in Eagan, which is just south of the airport. So it's actually closer to me than the airport. So a little less than 2 hours. And I just talked to Ann, and she said that Megan, her daughter, is going up there right now to get her boyfriend from the airport. So it may all work out. But the first thing I'm gonna do is try to pull that off. So let's see if that works. Okay guys, with a little bit of prying, I got this thing off. A gear puller would have been nice, but I don't have one. And it's still blocked. It's not going anywhere, at least until I can go get this part replaced. I'm gonna go down and talk to Big Joe and make sure that this is actually the piece that I need. And hopefully I'll get it from Egan. Okay, so here I am, you guys, at down at Joe's, and this is Renee. As you can see, Joe is, with his scientific mind, is inspecting this part.
Yeah, right.
And he is going to tell me very shortly if this is in fact the piece that they have in Egan, because Ann's daughter is 30 minutes from Egan right now.
Chanhassen, not Egan.
Chanhassen. That's not necessarily near the airport. Okay, I might still be able to talk her into going over and getting those parts.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's gonna throw a little, you know, how's your father on that? And let's see. Should be 30. Looks like 30 millimeters. Eek, 30.
There it is.
Bang on. Okay, good. So Aziz didn't lie.
Yep.
All right, so so now we're gonna figure out if we can get that part, and if so,
Definitely.
then off we go.
They got two of them.
They got two? Sweet. Hey guys. Okay, it's 5 o'clock. The part finally got here, and this is it. That's the replacement part, and I'm going to see if it fits. One thing Joe said is if you put a little fine sandpaper or emery paper on that shaft. It should just slide right on, so I've already done that. Oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me get that bolted up and start working on the other side. Okay guys, I got that bolted back in. I got the motor back on and the sprocket back on. So now I'm going to start working on this other side. I've got the bracing moved back, to the other side, to the front of the machine. So now I just got to pull those out and use my little gear puller, which I borrowed from Joe, to get that thing off, get the new one in, and Bob's your uncle. Okay, so interesting problem. My gear puller, this little shaft that I twist, wasn't long enough, so I had to stick a socket on the end of it as an extension. So let's see if that will work. So what I'm doing is, as I screw that in, it pulls on these two teeth and pulls the whole flange out. So yeah, let's see if that extension works. Okay, so it did the trick. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's nasty. Okay, let me clean that up, get the part back on, and damn, let's fire this thing up, yo. Okay guys, I got it in, and look, it spins easily. So now what I have to do is there's a gap right here that I have to, that I have to use a gap wrench on, because I want a gap of 0.07 inches. Well, fortunately, I have a set of gap wrenches. So I will put the gap wrenches on, get the thickness set, and then, get that gap set, put the set screws in, turn that baby on, see if it works. Woo! Okay guys, it's been a long day. I've got 5% battery left. I think I've got it all back together. Let's see if it spins. Power on. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. My truck. My truck. Yeah, that's from Big Trouble in Little China. Oh my God, it works. Well, you guys, thank you for following me along on this journey. It's been a long day. It's my first time ever doing this. I'm really happy. So, from Winona, that's my story. Man, I'm sticking to it.